Welcome back to part 25. We're going to add geolocation. So we're going to basically grab the latitude and longitude of an address that's added for the pet so that we can show it in the pet show page. So what I want you guys to do, obviously, as usual, just grab the pet adoption project and drag it over to Visual Studio. And first thing we're going to do is I'm going to do Command P, open the gem file. So or just find it here on the left. You can always do Command P and then type in the file name and you'll get it. So over here, since I haven't opened this project in a long time, just make sure you have the Ruby 2.7.1 or whichever version you're using. I'm going to open a new terminal window here in Visual Studio, and I'm going to type in Ruby-V just to see what my local Ruby is. It's 2.7.1. And just make sure, the difference between, the global Ruby, because there's a version for your whole entire machine or laptop it's using. So there's a global version and then there's a local version. So that's why I told you to open the terminal, type in Ruby-V, make sure that's 2.7.1, and you got the latest commit. I believe it's, I can't remember, but go to you can look at the link on the previous video on part 24. Just make sure you can do a git pull. So for example, for me, I'm having a Rails, this is my Rails version 6.0.3. So here I can type in Rails-V, you see? So you're gonna see the Rails version 6.3. So yeah, it's greater than 0.03 and greater or equal to 0.3.2, greater than or equals to 3.2, 6.0.3.2. So if you don't know what's going on now, just remember there's a database, and the database that we have to get it started. So if we do a Rails S right now, it's not going to work because my database is not running. So I'm going to do a command space and type in Postico. So I'm going to just double click on Postico there. So if I try to connect to Postico, which is my GUI, graphical user interface, it's not going to work because Postgres is not running. So do a command space again, type in Postgres. In Postgres, we're going to start the server, click start. Obviously, you need the PostgreSQL server to run. And after that, do a command space and go to Postico again, and then do a connect again. And it should connect you, and click on, for me, it's Thea Tutorials, and then Pet Adoption Development. Double click on that. You'll see the pets table. In the pets table, we want to add latitude and longitude and address, right? Well, you might have had address in it before, but what's important in order to get geolocation to work, we have to have latitude and longitude. So to do that, come back to Google Chrome, type in Geocoder Gem. You're going to see this here. Just open link in a new tab. Open this one in a new tab, and you'll come over here. And there we are on the geocoding. Here it tells you what to do with the model. Obviously, we're gonna put it inside the model, right? So this is def address. That's if we have we have to add the address. Okay, so this and that. Okay, so come back here, open the gem file, come over here, type in gem geocoder, and then once you have that, do a command S to save it. I'm going to stop the server, Control C. I'm going to type in bundle. Okay, and after I run bundle, so did I even save this? Command S, save that. Make sure you save it and run bundle again. Okay, so it's saved. I'm going to Rails S. The reason why I'm doing Rails S is just want to make sure that it's working. I'm going to come to my pet adoption app here. Just hang on a second. I had to do this twice because my battery ran out, and it's unbelievable. So anyway, so this is Pets 1. The reason why it's on Pets 1 edit or Pets 1 show is because in my database, you're going to notice if you go to the pets table, if you go to the pets table here, I have a pet. So if you don't have one, you might want to add one, or just go to pets / new to add a new pet, or you can go to pets / we already did this, dashboard dashboard. There is no pets dashboard. Sorry, it's just dashboard. So we already did this stuff in the previous parts. Add pet for adoption. So I already have a pet. It's pet ID number 1, pets 1. That's the show page. So what we're going to do is add a map here. So that's why we installed the Geocoder gem. So now that the Geocoder gem has been installed, we need to play around with the model. So do a Command P or just go to pet model. Okay, so add the pet in the pet.rb. Just come here, and we're gonna have to add what they're instructing us: geocoded by address. Okay, so add geocoded by address, paste it in here, and then we need to also add geocoded after validation, and of course we need to add some logic here. If actually. No, because we're gonna have to update. Hang on. So I change Command F, do after validation, Command F, and then no, changed. Okay, we need to grab this, copy that. We're gonna put that in here instead. Okay, so after validation, geocode if we don't need this. We don't need if. Address changed. So if the address changed, then we need to validate it as well and update it. Okay. Why do I have a bracket? I don't need a bracket there. So just like that, save it. So now that we have all that done, we need to add the fields inside of here. We need to add the latitude and longitude, but also we need to add the address because the user, when they add a pet, so if I came here and I went to pets /edit, that's the edit view, right? The view in the spaces edit.html.erb. So we need to add an option for the user for the pet owner to add an address, right? That's the only way Geocoder Gem is going to grab the latitude and longitude, right? If the address is valid, right? So come over here and stop the server, Control C, and do Rails G for generate migration. We're going to create a migration, and we want to name it as, I'm going to just name it like this: add at lat, so camel casing, yeah, ADD, and then command, then capital L, lat, and again camel casing, and long, and make it meaningful, and address. Make sure you don't spell it wrong. Rails generate migration, add lat and long and address. So now don't hit enter. If you did, you might want to do a Rails destroy migration with the same one. Okay, so in case you want to destroy it, you would destroy the migration that way. But so now we're gonna have to add the latitude. So latitude. These are the fields. Latitude. Make sure you spell that right. And do that integer. Actually, that's not an integer. This is a float. The reason why it's a float is because it's got decimals, and latitude goes by degrees, minutes, and seconds. So so 1 degree of latitude or 1 degree of longitude it goes by degrees, minutes, and seconds. Just like the hour has minutes and seconds. 1 hour. Just think of 1 hour as 1 degree. 1 hour has 60 minutes. Same with the latitude. Latitude has 60 minutes, and each minute has 60 seconds. So that's why when you say like 35 degrees north, 30 minutes, that means 35.5. Okay, so latitude is a float. Longitude is also a float, and the address is going to be a string, but we don't have to put string. We just leave it like that. So just make sure you do everything correctly. Rails generate migration, add lat and long and address, latitude float, longitude float, and address. Don't forget the semicolons. And for the address, we'll leave it just like that. Address, it automatically becomes a string. Hit enter. So now that's gonna create a migration file. So if we go to the DB and click the migrate, we're gonna see a migration file that was created for us. How is that possible? Oh wow. Okay, sorry. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't name the migration correctly. So I hope you did exactly what I did. So that way I'm gonna show you how to correct this. So just grab this whole thing here. Okay, grab the whole thing, copy it, come over here and paste it in, and don't do anything until I tell you. Just come over here and delete, instead of G, just put destroy. destroy. Okay, so destroy. Rails destroy migration, the same thing that you did. So that way, and hit enter. Okay, so now that's been destroyed. Of course, we can close it. You can see in the migration file, there is no migration. Okay, so over here, again in terminal, you're gonna do the same thing. If you want, I can do clear so that. So and then here you're gonna do the same thing. Just hit the up arrow key. Rails, instead of Rails destroy. No, 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 no. And then just hit one more time. So it's Rails generate migration add lat long to address. And no, and address to, and then again TO to pet. Exactly like that. So now Rails will know that this is for the pet table and hit enter. That's the only thing we did wrong. So come back here, open this one, and you'll notice right away you got the column. So go to the pet table, add latitude, add longitude, and it's a float, it's a string. Perfect. So we're gonna close that, and we need to migrate this to the database. So do Rails db migrate. Okay. So now that's gonna add it to the database. So you're gonna see now, see there's nothing there. But if we refresh this, and once this is done, it's gonna take a couple of seconds to do. But at the same time, okay, it's done. Okay, come to Postico and refresh this. You'll see, perfect. Look, we got longitude and we got latitude and address. The longitude is a float. The latitude is a float. Longitude is a float, and address is a string. Okay. So now that we have that, we need to go to the edit page, right? So we're gonna close this pet.rb. We don't need it. The gem file, we don't need it because we already installed the gem. Let's go to pet.rb. So we can go to models, no, not pet.rb. We need to go to the view, views, pets on the edit page. Okay, that's the edit page. That's basically this page here, the pets one edit. So over here, we want to, under the pet description, I'm going to just grab this here to copy it. Okay, would it be under the pet description? On top of the pet description. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, come over here. I'm going to put it here, and then over here, I want to put address because we already added this field, so that's going to work. Instead of rich text area, I'm going to do the text field. So it's a text field. It's a field, text field. It is a text field. It's a string, right? We don't need this rows, so we're gonna remove that. And over here, I'm just gonna remove this text here. Hey, this is gonna be, hey, this is the location of your pet. Okay, just like that. Save it and do a Rails S to start the server. And once that's done, okay, that should work now. It should be there, and we'll be able to add a location, an address. We'll be able to add an address. Perfect. Pet description. No, we need to change this pet address. Pet address. Okay, save it. So pet address. Perfect. So now we have pet address, and obviously here we got null and null. So and then I'm gonna put what am I gonna put here? I guess one Richmond Street, West Toronto. We can add one Richmond Street, West Toronto, and I'm gonna come here and publish this, which is basically save. I should change it to saved, but okay. So we saved it, but it didn't actually save. Okay, I of course didn't save because we didn't go to the controller. Everything goes through the controller, guys. We have strong parameters in the controller, and so we want to add the controller. You add a field somewhere, and you're gonna save it in the view. You better go to the controller and update it. So let's go to the controllers and click on Pets Controller. Over here, we need to add the address. So come over here after microchip. I'm just gonna maximize this. I'm gonna put address. Because we did these strong parameters means set params. Set params, these are our parameters, and it requires that we have that in here. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So Command S to save it, come back here, refresh, and so one Richmond Street, West Toronto. and we can do publish. Okay, so I got all these different, I put all these different addresses, just like, so 1 Richmond Street, Toronto. Come over here, it saved it. And if you refresh this, you're gonna notice that it's gonna be there. Perfect. Now we come back to Postico and refresh Postico, and you'll see it there. Look, perfect. We got the latitude. 43 degrees, 0.65 north, and we got the longitude, 79 degrees and 37. And a half minute. The 0.37. It's basically 0.37 of 60 minutes, right? So it's almost like 35 minutes, 33 minutes north. So 79 degree west, I mean. So minus 79 means west of the Greenwich Meridian. So it goes 180 degrees west of Greenwich Meridian and 180 degrees east of Greenwich Meridian. That's longitude. And latitude goes from the equator, from 0 all the way north to the North Pole, 90 degrees north, and from the equator, 90 degrees south, right? Yeah, so that's how it works. So we got that. We got the address, longitude, latitude. So now, well, how are we going to show this in the show page? So we're going to have to go to pets 1 and come over here, and we're going to have to add it probably under the we can put it under the about, right? So now that we're done with the pets controller, I'm going to close pets controller. I'm going to just open those files here. The edit page, we're done with the edit page, right? We're done with the edit page, but we can go to the pets show. Pets show page is what is shown. So we want to find, just find the part where is the video, Command F about. So this is the about. No, about is over here. Ah, man. Okay, so vaccinations microchip. We're gonna have to put it above my vaccinations microchip. Just okay, right above vaccinations microchip. I'm gonna grab the whole entire block here, and I'm gonna just copy and paste it so that I don't have to repeat everything again. So okay, copy that and then paste it here. And here I'm going to say the location map. Okay, location map. So instead of I'm going to just delete these two. So we have a text block, right? So inside the text block, we want to add. Oh boy! So now we're gonna have to. I have sirens going on. Sorry about that, but I want to add, actually, hold on, I'm going to do an H, what do we have, H4? Okay, let's just add it's H4 here. We'll add the H4, and we're going to do pet location, okay? Pet location. Okay, save it. Now that it's saved, come back here, let's see what happens. Okay, so we got pet location. Next thing we need to do, we need to add a division. So that the division, I'm gonna give it because we're gonna have to get Google Maps in there, right? So we got the Google Maps, but I think we should put a wrapper too, right? So we can do a wrapper that's gonna wrap the Google Maps division, and we can put the script in there. So div dot map dash wrapper. I'm just making this up right now because we can style the map wrapper and grab this, cut it, and put it inside the map wrapper. Okay, right? I'm just organizing it here. So we have a map wrapper that wraps the map division. This division here with the ID map, and in here we're gonna put the script. Oh, Google Maps. That's gonna be, guys. I really hope this works for you guys. I'm gonna try my best. I don't know this Google Maps API. It's not so simple when it comes to tutorials that you're trying to make very short. So I'm gonna just come over here and I'm gonna show you. So you go to Google Maps API, right? So you search Google Maps API, and I'm gonna click on Maps JavaScript. So I'm already logged in as Thea World, right? So I have a bunch of different like I'm already part of developer.google.com. I already have an account there. So just, make sure you don't get frustrated with me or to get frustrated by any of this. Just be where I am right now, developers.google.com. Make sure you have a Google Gmail account, you're logged in, developers.google.com/maps/documentation/JavaScript/overview, this URL here. And just come down here. Pretty much everything you need is here, but it takes time, so I'm going to just give you a shortcut. So over here, you want to grab this and make sure this asynchronous thing, this can really screw you over in regards to how maps is being called, the functions, and when you're trying to call initialize and all that. So just, I don't know, like, here you would have to add the Google Maps key. So if you click this, like for me, because I'm logged in, I can like select the project that I want, right? But for you guys are not logged in, right? Or maybe you are logged in, you don't have projects, so you might want to create a project, right? So I'm gonna have to create a project. Developers.google.com. So create a project. So I'm gonna need to create a Google Maps API, developers.google credentials, Google Maps credentials, Google Maps credentials. So just go to Google Maps credentials, console.developers. Okay, so just click on that. So you have to be logged in. So you're gonna have to create a project, right? So don't get intimidated by what I have here because I got different stuff. So what you want to do, I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to click on new project. And over here on new project, I'm going to name this pet adoption maps. Okay, I'm just going to click pet adoption maps. That's what I'm going to call mine. And you can call yours whatever you want. I have an organization, but if you don't, I think it'll probably be like whatever your username or whatnot. Okay, and the location, I'm going to call it Thea World. So just try your best to do this correctly. Click on create. So now I can switch projects. I can switch projects to Google Maps API, this one. Okay, so I'm going to click, I guess it's still loading. Okay, maps, sorry, pet adoption maps. So in the pet adoption maps, configure consent screen, credentials, create credentials. I've already created the credentials. So now that I've created this credentials, I'm gonna come to pet adoption. Okay. No, I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna add an API key, and here I'm gonna select pet adoption maps. Okay, it's not this one. Earlier I created something, but I ran out of battery, so my whole thing got deleted. Anyways, so pet adoption maps, right? And I can't insert it because I don't have credentials. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. But anyways, it will work. We just need to add credentials, right? So we need to create credentials, service account, auth, API key. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this. Now, obviously, I'm gonna change this after so that no one else uses it. And I can restrict the key. But anyways, for now, for this tutorial, just leave it like that. So I'm gonna copy this. So after this is copied, I'm just gonna go click back so I don't lose where I was. I was here. Okay, come back to the maps. Man. Okay, so add an API key, and I'm gonna Google pet adoption maps. Okay, perfect. So now that the credentials are created, I'm gonna click insert, and I'm gonna copy this here. Come back. I think like the thing is you got to be careful with this because I've had this. So inside the Google Maps, you want to add this. You can add an application.html.erb, but it's probably better to add it here so that way you know what's going on. So under the maps, I'm gonna paste that in. First of all, this is so important that you remove this asynchronous and just put type equals to text /JavaScript, right? Text JavaScript. Okay, so make sure that's correct. I'm gonna just put it in one line. I don't think there's a point to just. Let me just make this bigger. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. So there it is, right? It's just all in one line. Okay, however you want to do it, doesn't matter. Just make sure you make sure you don't put asynchronous defer or whatever. Just leave it like that. Next thing I want to tell you is your key is actually right here, from here all the way to the at symbol. So this at symbol here, where it ends, that's your key. So let me just put a space so you can see it. You see this key here? Oh no. You see this key here? This and so that's your key. So over here, I'm just gonna put it back. So after the end, you want to call this I think it's libraries. Okay, so libraries, and then over here you want to call it places. Okay, just places. So we might have to add libraries because if you look at the Google Maps JavaScript API, it has libraries, and you can add libraries and then select places. But we'll see if it works like that. If it doesn't work like that, we'll have to update the Google Maps API and Google Cloud Console. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna just save this now, and after that, obviously we have the. So now what do we need to do now? I suppose we have to. Okay, let's just. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Actually, I can just do that like that, and so we can read it. Just leave it like that. Okay. So save it, come back here, and let's see what pet adoption show page tells us in the console. So obviously there is nothing there. So obviously there is nothing because we don't have anything. So we're gonna come here and let's grab some. So we already did that. So we want to grab. We definitely want to grab that. Okay, let's copy that. So we're gonna create a function inside of under the script here. So we can do. I'm just put some space so you can see what's going on. I'm just gonna close that. So we have the wrapper. Okay, this is the wrapper. Okay, this is the. So you see what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm doing here? I'm gonna just put a space, just so that you can see what we're doing. This is what we're working on. Okay, so under here we're gonna do a script like that. Geez, am I even recording this? I'm recording this. Recording, yes. So I'm recording it. Okay, good. So inside the script, I'm gonna paste that in. Okay, so I'm gonna paste that in. Can I call this var map, right? So I'm gonna give it it's a variable, and I guess we can. So yeah, so we'll add a function. Okay, so function initialize, and oh no, sorry. Okay, so inside of this we can move this. Okay, move it in there. I'm just organizing it, making it look better. Okay, so basically I just grabbed this here, but of course we don't need, like here they're just giving an example saying hey lat and long, LNG and LAT. So what we want to do is, instead of like adding this here because that's just hard coded, we want to add our own Ruby code. So we can just call the pet. Okay, so because we're inside right now, we're in the pet adoption, so we can call the pet from the controller. So we can say, instead of that, I'm gonna say I can add some Ruby code here. So we can do that. Right. So inside of here, I can say pet, and then we can get the field that we just added. So we added latitude field and a longitude field. And obviously this is our latitude. So now we're gonna do pet.latitude, right? Pet latitude. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Instead of latitude, we're gonna put longitude. So we're gonna do that longitude. Oh no, longitude, like that. So it's just like pretty simple. Well, it's not really simple, but it's pretty straightforward, right? And then we need to add the map, right? So we have this var map. We want it to be in the center, and we have a zoom of 8. Okay. Come back here, and there's another one. We're gonna have to get the, because that's just latitude and longitude, right? Right. Okay. So we have. Yeah, that's well. Okay. Yeah. So we have, as long as we have the map, but we're gonna need. How are we gonna call the location? Okay, let's add the location. So var location. So we can say var location. Well, var location equals. So var location equals, and then we can do the same thing. We can do the same thing here. Copy. Yeah. So actually, so yeah, hold on. So if we have, okay, if this is our location, Google Maps, get element by ID map. So we already have them. We already have the ID up there. We already added the ID here. So why are we adding this? So let's just delete that and copy the location and add it here like that. So make sure that you center this inside the location, which we have here. It's this variable, and we got our lat and long. So we're gonna center it in there. So once we have that, what we want to do is we want to call. I guess we're gonna have to under this function. So we're gonna do Google.maps.events. Google Maps.events add DOM listener. Add DOM events.add DOM listener. Add DOM listener to what? To the okay, so the window and the location and the initialize. Okay. So once that's done, we save that. Google Maps.events. Oh, actually, it's .event. Google Maps. Yeah. Google Maps.event. Add DOM listener. The window location, which we have here, and initialize. So we save that. Come back here. Probably gonna get errors, but anyways. Okay, so we don't inspect. Let me just inspect here and see what's wrong. So we got a console, Google Maps JavaScript error, API activate, API no active map error. Okay, so yeah, so we need to add the library because we set places, right? So if we set places, that means that we need to add the library. So we click on library here. So you see what I did is I went back here into my project, inside my project. Make sure you select your project and everything. Just click on library. And over here, you want to come back to Google, to Maps JavaScript API. Oh, no, Places API. Sorry, Maps API. So to click that, and then you have to enable this. So after you click enable, that should update the API. So now we can actually add different things here, but you know, as you progress towards your app, you can add different things like, you know, get directions and this and that, and you know. So come back here and refresh this. Okay, So okay. So it's gone. The problem. Oh no, it's not gone. No activated map error. Maps documentation error. No activated map error. So how is that possible? We have libraries, places. So I guess we need to add the maps and location API, geolocation API. So you just add that and you click on enable. Okay. And now that that's enabled, come back to pet adoption and refresh this. Okay. We have the same error. Authentication service. So what happened? I think maybe this is not active or something. So I'm gonna click on my back browser, click back again and back again, back again, back again. We clicked on libraries. So API key. So what's the matter with this API key? HTTPS. Don't restrict. HTTP refers websites. Okay. This key is unrestricted. I guess I'll save that. So what's the matter with this key now? There's nothing wrong with this key. So come back to library again. So we need to add more. Google Maps JavaScript API. We need to enable that. Enable. That's probably what we needed to enable from the first place. We didn't even need to, but we said libraries places. So let's come back here and refresh this console. Okay, so that seems to be working now. Nope, again, it's not working. That's fine. Come back here. That's why it's hard with tutorials with Google Maps API. So Places API, we need to add more. We need to add, come back to the browser again. Come back again. Hit the back button. Please hit the back button. We just need to go back to library. So Places API, click on Manage. And now we need to add Geo Coding API. Enable. Okay. Now, if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna like throw my laptop out the balcony. And that should work. Please work. I beg you. Like, seriously. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay, now it worked. It worked. So now you know what you need to select. I hope you followed my video as we did. So now that this is working, we need to inspect the element and find out why this is short. Okay, of course, it's short because we don't have a height. So let's add a height, of 300 pixels. Okay, so now we have a height of 300 pixels. That's awesome. And in here, let's add in the map thing, let's add a height of 200 pixels. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we come back on the wrapper and we type in style equal to height 300 pixels, and on the map we can do a style equals to 250. We can change that later. I just want to see where we are. Height of 250 pixels. Okay. So we're gonna save that, and Okay, so this should work. Okay, refresh this. Oh no, please no. Why is this not working? Console. What are those 28 issues? Elements. Google Maps API. That should work. So we have the script. We have another script, and we're doing everything correctly. I'm not sure why this isn't working, but at DOM listeners, everything seems to be fine. So I'm gonna just pause this video for a second and see. Oh, wait a minute. Var map, new Google Maps. This we we copied pasted. We copied pasted, so we don't have any typos. So I'm not sure why. Google Maps map document get element. So we're getting the element, we're centering the element, the location, and we have a zoom 8. We have an initialize function, and so let me just pause the video so I don't bore you. Okay, guys, I found out why this isn't working. Everything is working fine. We did everything perfectly. The only issue is that, remember, in the in the model we did the model is perfectly fine. It's just that we said that it's good to know this, so that you guys don't like spend like weeks or days or something trying to figure it out, because it happened to me in the past where it's if address changed, right? So that means that we just added an address and it didn't update because we're in development mode. We're developing right now, but in real life, obviously, you would have to add an address, right? Um, yeah. So basically, what we need to do is come back here to edit. So if we change this to 5 Richmond Street, okay, and come back here and update this. Okay, so it's been updated, and come back to database and refresh. You should show 5 Richmond. Okay, so now if we come back here, it should work. Oh man, how come? So I suppose this is an issue. Okay, so let me just pause the video again. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so I figured this out, and guess what? Like, because this location and load it started at the same time. It starts with an L. I think this is like sort of like a dyslectic thing. I'm not dyslectic, but I kind of feel like I'm dyslectic now. But anyway, so it's supposed to be load, right? So anyway, this is just really crazy. And anyway, I figured it out. It's load, and I couldn't get any errors on the console. But if you save it now. So just make sure you save it, and refresh. You should be able to get the map. Thank God. Okay, we have the map, but we need to make this bigger so we can say this like 350. Ooh, we're gonna make this 300. 300. So let's change this to 350 here, and then we can change this one to 325. 325 pixels height. So we should do this with classes, but anyway, for now, just want to get this working. And all right, so very good, very good. So we got the map. So now we should add a marker, and we can add a marker, and we can add a photo of the pet over here, and also the zoom level. So let's just change zoom level to 14. So if we come back here and refresh, you'll see perfect. Look at that. It's gonna have like the zoom, but we need to add a marker. So we need to create a variable here. We can create the variable right underneath, right inside the function. So we can say, okay, so var marker equals to, so var marker new dot google dot maps dot marker. So we can say, we can grab the same thing. Okay, just actually, wait, this is, oops, there's a, no, sorry. So it's var marker equals new Google Maps.marker, and then here we can say the position. The position is going to be the location, and the map, we can say map. Write this one. Yeah. Position. Position is location. Map is map. Save it, and yeah, come back here, refresh this. So we should have a location. Oh, very good. So look at this. How awesome is that? And we can actually even zoom further and go to 16. So that then the user can zoom out if they want, right? But we can leave it at 14. Save that. Now, so now that we have a marker, we can also add, maybe we can add another variable. So you can add as many variables as you want. You can do what you want to do, but so var, I don't know, I guess the info window. Info window. Google Maps. So right here, so we can get function. So we have a constructed a content string. So we can do the same thing. We can do the same thing, right? Where are we? This is maps, shape, symbols, custom markers. So we have that already. So we basically have to do info window. Okay, so we can, okay, we don't need to copy that, but okay, so so pet pet image. So we can say like, so we can say pet image equals to I guess new dot Google dot maps dot I think it's in capital info window, right? Info window. So in here we can do the content, and then we can say inside of that we can add a div. So we can say div, and we can put a class. We can style the class later. So we need to add a class. We put content. So div class content, and in here we can do the well. Let me just close the. I should first close the div. So do a div again, and then close the div. So you see, we open div and then close the div. You see, and in here we're gonna put our image tag. I guess we'll get the image tag. So well, wait a minute. Image tag. The problem is that we don't have any validation on the images. Like when a user creates a pet, we don't know. Like he may not add any images. So if there is no images and we call an image, we're gonna get an error. So it's a good idea that we use the helper that we used before. Remember, if we have a helper here. In the helper, we added it in the previous sections of pet adoption tutorial. So if we go to application helper, you'll notice we created a method that says like missing image. So if the pet photos is attached, get the URL, the first image, which starts from 0, or put the no image, right? So we want to grab this missing pet image. I'm going to copy that, come back here, and in here we can add some Ruby like that. I'm going to say image tag. We can say the image tag, and we can just put the missing pet image, and inside we can pass the pet. So it will just run that method in the helper. And we can put some styling as well inside of that. So put style, inline style. We can add a class. It doesn't matter, but for now I'm gonna just do inline just to see if it works or not. So we're gonna do width 135 pixels or whatever, and yeah, I guess this is gonna work. And then we need to call the info window. So actually, no, I'm just gonna put. I'll just call this info window. Info window, okay, like that. So var info window. Let me just do camel casing is there. Okay, copy that. So over here, I'm gonna say info window, and we can open it. We can open the map, right? So open the map and the marker. Okay, open the map and the marker. So let me just remove the white space. Save it. Come over here. Adoption. Refresh. Why is it not working now? Inspect. Console. Unexpected syntax error. How do I have a syntax error? Oh man. So we have the content with a div, open, close. We have the image tag. What am I doing wrong here? New dot. Where's the syntax error? So var info window. Okay. So we got that. New Google.maps.info window. And we have the contents. Inside we got this division with a missing pet at pet style. And the info window marker. So how, oh gosh, again. Sorry, so var info window, new Google Maps. Okay, so save it. Come back here and refresh. Oh man, this is awesome. So now we got the image here. So image, this is inspect. There's all kinds of things you can do. 135 width. Okay, so width and height. So we can always add a cover photo with height. Height 120 pixels. Anyways, this is all about CSSing now. So you guys get the idea. So we're just gonna leave it like that for now. And guys, I hope you really enjoyed this session. And now you know how to add Google Maps API with location. And guess what else we can do? You can pretty much add right now, we can add loops to loop through all the locations that are close by or nearby or whatnot, and we can add it here. So we can add different. So you can apply this to every app that you're building. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, but wait. Something really important, really important I want you to know is this: do not push anything to Bitbucket yet, okay? Don't push anything to Bitbucket because this here, this key here, it needs to be, other people can use it, okay? So you don't want other people using this. So what you want to do, if you push it to Bitbucket right now, it's going to be public and it's really bad. Even if an employer see it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy doesn't even know, or this girl doesn't even know how to secure the key. So I highly suggest and I highly recommend that you save this inside your credentials, which is